Hi, Clayton. Thanks for taking my call. I'm trying to understand the concept of leveraging tenants to pay down the mortgages in my rental properties. If I have 30-year fixed mortgages on my properties, can I pay them down with my cash and the rent for my tenants to maximize my cash flow? Or do I really have to wait 30 years to get to my freedom number? Thanks.
Thank you, Leroy. No, absolutely not. I mean, obviously, what we want to be doing is this is a living, breathing process. So, for instance, at our company at Morris Invest, we're year after year helping a client from year to year, adding on an additional property into their portfolio. So you absolutely want to think of, like, if you're working right now, you're in your 30s or 40s and you're working and you enjoy working and you're fine with that, and this is your earning years. I want you to think of owning real estate as the last thing. The cash flow comes last for you. Really, this is buy, own, and cash flow, the three steps of real estate investing. You're buying them now, okay? And the cash flow, forget it. Pretend like it doesn't even exist, right? It's like when people say when you get a raise at work, pretend like you don't even have that raise and put that into investments, right? Pretend like you didn't even get a raise, because we always try to live beyond our means when we start getting extra money. So forget about that cash flow, Leroy, and use that to pay down this mortgage. Now, you're creating what's known as an internal rate of return. That's fantastic. So watch my video on our YouTube channel, listen to the podcast on the episode we did on internal rate of return, IRR. We go through some charts and graphs and show you exactly why the internal rate of return is a powerful way of understanding how you're building wealth, using your tenants that are paying your mortgage, building equity on top of your tax advantage of owning real estate, the depreciation, okay, and a hedge against inflation through appreciation of that asset. All of those ways make real estate the number one way to build wealth. So getting to your freedom number will come, but your tenants are paying that cash now towards your mortgage, and that is going to help you accelerate. You can put additional money and funds there, absolutely. Like, if I can't imagine that your tenants are paying what your mortgage costs. Maybe they are, but if your tenants are paying you $2,500 a month or $2,000 a month, and your mortgage is $1,100 a month, personally, I would be setting aside money for expenses and repairs, but I would be funneling as much of that money as I could towards the principal balance of my mortgage. And now you're accelerating the payoff of that mortgage much more quickly. So unless you're out of whack with your rent to mortgage ratio, in which case you might want to rethink your strategy with these properties, they shouldn't be. They should be totally out of whack. I mean, totally different, right? The mortgage should be much less. You should be able to cash flow well beyond your mortgage payment. Otherwise, your ROI is not making sense, and then it's out of whack. You should be able to get to your freedom number much more quickly using this strategy. And remember, of course, if they're paying down your mortgage, you don't have to wait until it's paid off. How much equity then will you have in this property that you can even leverage the equity of this property and buy another rental property? So there are endless strategies to use here. I mean, I'm very passionate about using multiple ways, multiple pieces of leverage. You might even be sitting on a 401k that's sitting there doing nothing, right? It's your money in a 401k plan from your work, or it's sitting there because you moved offices, and now you can tap into that and borrow from that to not only to buy another asset, or to use a portion of it and fire it at the principal balance of your mortgage. All of these things I have done and have experience doing, and they're all fantastic. There's no one size fits all approach to this. So I would begin to kind of put all of these things down on paper and just start to look at the numbers and build a battle plan from there. Map it out, build, a Mind Node. There's a great app on the iPad or the Mac called Mind Node, Node. Kind of start with that goal and start to build little legs of this, of this map and figuring out how you can get there. And that's one way to start strategizing on this. Any other questions anyone has, you can always leave us a voicemail question here. Try to keep them to about 30 seconds. Just go to morrisinvest.com/Clayton. Leave us your questions, and I will try to provide some answers. Now go out there and take action. Become a real estate investor. I believe it's the number one way to build wealth and to preserve wealth. Take care, everyone.